The iconic stage of the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville has seen countless legendary performances, but every so often, an artist steps into the spotlight and delivers a moment that feels both historic and deeply personal. This week, that artist was Jon Foster, the American Idol runner-up whose powerful voice and heartfelt storytelling once captivated millions on television. Foster, who has steadily built his reputation in the country music scene since his appearance on the competition, received not just applause but his third standing ovation from the Opry audience, a milestone that underscores his rising place in the genre. For Foster, the journey from Idol hopeful to Grand Ole Opry favorite has been defined by persistence, authenticity, and a commitment to his craft. On the night of his latest Opry performance, the atmosphere inside the Ryman-inspired circle was electric. Fans who had followed him since his televised debut mingled with Nashville locals and curious first-timers eager to see what the buzz was about. By the time he strummed the first chords of his opening song, anticipation had reached a fever pitch. His set began with a mix of originals and classics, each chosen to honor both his influences and his unique artistic journey. Wearing a simple denim jacket, boots, and his signature guitar, Foster opened with an upbeat track that showcased the smooth yet rugged quality of his vocals. The crowd responded instantly, clapping in rhythm and cheering at every high note. The energy built steadily, and as Foster shifted into a more emotional ballad, an original he wrote about growing up in a small town, an almost reverent silence fell over the hall. By the time he finished, the audience leapt to their feet, erupting into his first standing ovation of the night. For many in attendance, it was a reminder of why Foster had come so close to winning American Idol. Though he didn't walk away with the crown, he walked away with something arguably more valuable: a fan base that believed in him, and an artistic identity rooted in sincerity rather than flash. "I don't take any of this for granted," he told the Opry crowd between songs. "Every time I step into this circle, I feel like I'm standing on the shoulders of the legends who paved the way. To have you all stand for me tonight, it's overwhelming." The second standing ovation came after a surprise cover of a Merle Haggard classic. Foster's decision to pay tribute to Haggard was no accident. He has often cited the late country icon as one of his earliest inspirations. His rendition was raw, filled with emotion, and delivered with the kind of conviction that can't be manufactured. As he hit the final notes, he closed his eyes, almost as if he were singing to himself rather than the packed auditorium. When he opened them again, he saw the entire house rising in unison, applauding with thunderous enthusiasm. Foster smiled, shook his head in disbelief, and raised his guitar in gratitude. But the defining moment of the night, the one that marked his third standing ovation, came with the closing number. It was an original song, one he debuted on the Opry stage, titled "This Circle Sings." The lyrics were a heartfelt ode to the history of the Opry itself, weaving in references to the legends who once stood where he stood, and reflecting on the dream of every country artist to be embraced by this sacred space. The song built slowly, beginning with just Foster and his guitar, then swelling as the Opry band joined in. The final chorus soared, his voice cracking slightly under the weight of emotion, and the audience responded with the loudest ovation of the evening. It was not just applause, it was a roar, sustained and insistent, pulling him back on stage for an encore. By that point, the moment had transcended a performance. It felt like a coronation. For Jon Foster, the third standing ovation at the Grand Ole Opry wasn't merely about recognition. It was about belonging. He had proven himself not just as a reality show star, but as a true artist who could hold his own on the most hallowed stage in country music. Foster's path to the Opry has been anything but conventional. Raised in a small southern town, he grew up surrounded by music, but without industry connections or resources. His family encouraged his passion, often gathering in their living room as he practiced guitar and sang along to country radio. His break came when he auditioned for American Idol, wowing the judges with a soulful rendition of a Chris Stapleton hit. Week after week, he climbed the ranks, winning fans with his unassuming charm and undeniable talent. Though he ultimately finished as runner-up, his exposure on the show catapulted him into the national spotlight. In the years since, Foster has taken a deliberate approach to his career. Rather than rushing to release an album immediately, he focused on honing his songwriting, collaborating with established Nashville writers, and performing in smaller venues to refine his stage presence. That patience has paid off. His debut EP earned critical praise for its honesty and craftsmanship, and several tracks have found a home on streaming playlists, drawing in a wider audience. Still, it's the live performances that have solidified his reputation. The Grand Ole Opry has become a recurring chapter in his story. His first invitation to perform there was a dream fulfilled, and he admits he nearly broke down in tears when stepping into the iconic wooden circle for the first time. Since then, each return has deepened his connection with the venue and its audiences. "There's something about this place," he said in a backstage interview. "It reminds you why you fell in love with country music in the first place. Every artist dreams of standing here. And when you do, you want to give your very best." Industry insiders have taken notice, too. Veteran Opry members praised Foster's performance, noting his ability to bridge traditional country sensibilities with a modern edge. One respected figure called him the kind of artist who reminds you that authenticity still matters. That kind of endorsement carries weight in Nashville, where the line between tradition and innovation is often carefully navigated. Fans, meanwhile, have embraced him wholeheartedly. Social media lit up after the performance, with hashtags celebrating his third standing ovation, trending among country music circles. Many praised his humility, noting how he seemed almost surprised by the audience's reaction. Others shared clips of his emotional ballads, calling him the future of country music, and a voice that speaks to the heart. Perhaps what makes Foster's story so compelling is his refusal to let setbacks define him. Finishing second on American Idol could have been seen as a disappointment, but he reframed it as an opportunity. "Losing the title didn't mean losing the dream," he has said. That mindset has guided his steady climb, turning moments that might have ended other careers into stepping stones for his own. Now, with 3 standing ovations at the Opry to his name, Foster is poised for even bigger things. Rumors are swirling about a full-length album in the works, with several tracks already completed. He has hinted that the record will explore themes of home, resilience, and gratitude, concepts that have defined his personal and professional journey. A national tour is also reportedly in the planning stages, which would bring his music to fans across the country. As the lights dimmed on his latest Opry performance, Foster took one last moment to thank the crowd.